class, happy Monday, and welcome back to Homeschool with Carly, where I share a lesson every single day for you to either watch or follow along. And today's lesson is really special because we are going to learn about water tension. I know, some of us might not know what that is, but we're going to learn in a really cool way. So for this experiment, you need a couple of materials. First being water. You will need a glass pyrex dish, or bowl is fine, some pepper, dish soap, and an already mixed glass of water and soap. Okay, so for the first part of this experiment, we are going to take our water and we are going to pour it into the pyrex dish, okay? So I'm going to pour it into the pyrex dish, not too high, but just enough that I can see the water inside the dish, okay? So I'll put it so you can see that I literally just filled it a quarter of the way. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to take the pepper and I'm going to grind it on the top. But that might take a while, so I already did the grinding of the pepper and put it inside this little Tupperware. And I'm going to put it on top of the water, all right? So I'm just basically spreading it out all over the water. And I'll show you what it looks like so you can see that it's spread out all on top of the water, all right? So, next, I'm going to need the dish soap, all right? So I'm going to put a little bit of dish soap on my finger. Okay. So I have some dish soap on my finger, and I'm going to put my finger into the water, and we're going to watch what happens to the pepper. So I'm going to take you with me. Whoa! Did you see how all the pepper is now going to the edges of the pyrex dish? Let's talk about that. So that was pretty cool, I have to say. It was like a magic trick, right? So what happens is water has something called surface tension, okay? And water is also known as H2O. I'm sure some of you have heard of that, right? That is the molecular structure of water. So when I add soap to the water, I am now making water H2O plus whatever the molecular structure of this soap is, right? So it's no longer just water. So what happens is water by itself has something called surface tension, okay? And that is what allows things to float on the top of the water. Have you ever seen those little bugs that are able to walk on top of the water? The reason that is because water has surface tension, and that is what is allowing the pepper to float on top of the water. But when I changed the molecular structure by adding something different, then the pepper could no longer float on the soapy water. It only could float where there was no soap. So the pepper quick shot to the side, and it was on the edges of the glass because that's where the soap wasn't. Because pepper can only float on water. And in the center, it was no longer just water, it was soapy water. So let me show you something else so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to put this to the side, and I put together this little mixture of soap and water, okay? So there's nothing in here, but you can see that the bubbles on the top and there's water at the bottom. So I'm going to take this pepper and I'm going to grind it into the soapy water, and we're going to watch what happens, okay? So I might have to stir it a little bit because look, it's sitting on top of the soap. So I'll just put my hands in. And you can already see a little bit that the pepper is starting to drop down into the water. Okay? And the reason that is because that pepper can't float on soapy water. It can only float on regular H2O. So as soon as we mix that soap with the water, it changed the surface tension. So pepper can no longer float if it doesn't have just plain water. So that is why the pepper sank to the bottom or spread to the side in our first experiment. So I really hope you enjoyed this experiment, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!